Welcome back, subscribers. So today is a bit of a long one, but it is definitely a project. So we are doing a felt quick draw where I would be drawing Tama's family.
This video is 21 minutes long at times 5 speed. It was almost 2 hours of Tammy working on this. I love how it turned out, but I'm glad that we got quick draws up and running because this would never have came out otherwise.
I mean, I'm sure you guys enjoy my videos, but I don't think you really want to sit through 2 hours of this.
So the idea is it's going to be Tama, like Tammy already said, it's going to be Tama and her family having a dinner. Her immediate family. We before even doing this, because of the fact that we knew how long this was going to take and knew how much effort it was going to be, Tammy actually off the side before this video even started did a quick sketch of where she was going to place everyone and went over a couple details with me before we even started.
Yeah. That's why I have the colors picked off to the side because I also had to make sure I had everyone's hair color, eye color, what colors would work for the picture. And yeah, it was definitely a project just before the project. So
If at any time we are bringing up something that either you see or do not see on the screen or have seen for a bit, that's because when we're doing this, I'm actually watching the editing part of it, and sometimes it lags behind. The longer the video is, I find the longer it lags behind. One of the previous videos we did with a quick draw, I don't know if it came out yet. It's going to come out. Well, it's coming out before this, I think. Anyway, when we were recording it, it still was like had enough. Like Tammy had to still do a bunch of more lining, and the video like abruptly ended, and we were like, "What just happened?" And yeah, so we are paying more attention to the actual time than we are the actual drawing this time. It will actually make things a lot simpler. So if I'm like bringing up something that you've already seen for like the last like couple minutes or moments now, that's why. But yeah, so there's two children and monkey in the front, and there's going to be five or six. Yeah, six adults in the background. You're right.
Tama being one of them, of course.
Yeah. So it's going to be all of the bear family having dinner and playing games. Actually, I think we decided instead of them actually having dinner, they were going to be playing dice.
Yeah.
You don't see the dice. One of them is holding them, and it's about to like throw, like is shaking them. I know I'm getting a little ahead of you guys, but I know what happens. Spoilers. So while we were doing this, we were going over some of stuff of dealing with Tama's people. Like one of the characters in the grouping, he is bald. He's the last one she draws. But the reason I'm trying to get it telling you now is because even after she draws him bald, you don't realize he's bald until she starts coloring anyway. But she's gone with the idea that the ears of them would be whatever their hair color is. So if they don't actually have hair, they would just have no fur on their ears. So, if you are wondering, the children, what's happening is the two children have airplanes, and they're chasing after Monkey, and he's King Kong. He's got like a little Barbie in his hand, and he's running away, and they're chasing him down. So yeah, there's the dice right there. Just letting you know. And Tama's the one being drawn. fourth.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um, anything else you would like to add? Seeing how we have 15 minutes to talk. I'm just trying to think of what else. We've been going over a bunch of things. I don't think I've told everybody here yet. If we have asked you random questions on Facebook, one of the things that we're trying to do is we're going to be doing as Tammy's 1 year anniversary video. We are going to be doing a large table. She'll be doing one person at a time, doing a quick draw. It will be the longest video on this channel for sure. Even with it being at times 5 speed, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the longest.
Yep.
The idea behind it is she's going to do each individual person she has asked. She's going to draw them into her world. Maybe not exactly that person. Maybe just the hints of what that person has given her. And then what she's going to do is she's going to put them all together. You guys will blah 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 blah. You guys will remain nameless, so don't worry about that. And yeah, you guys will be sitting at a table eating your favorite food, wearing something that you enjoy, or having something on you that you enjoy. With the, being the animal that you have chosen. If you've chosen multiple animals, we'll pick the one that best suits what we want. It's kind of why if anyone picked multiple things, I was not upset. And with any of the stuff that you guys have given us, it works for us. So yeah, you guys can look forward to that, even though that's not going to happen until February 9th of 2020. But we're trying to plan that far ahead because Tammy's probably going to start working on those videos every once a month until then. So that way she's not having to do a lot of them all at once.
Yeah, like when it gets down to like November and I'm only gotten like 2 done, and then I'm like, oh my god, I still have like 20 more to go. I don't like doing that.
Yeah. We're also figure out scheduling perfectly. So we're going to be doing that. That's actually helping us quite a bit. Yeah, there's a lot that Tammy and me want to do with this, and it has been working. Tammy's been drawing a lot more, and we're trying to get ahead of ourselves so that way, Tammy doesn't have to do too many back to back to back like this. In the last couple days, she had to do 5 drawings because the fact that there was a lot of events that happened all back to back. I know that we've already glossed over it because it's happened a while ago. I just didn't see it. At one point, Tammy had the table about what would you say, about a quarter of an inch higher than it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was indicating to her that it looked weird because a lot of people, their hands are underneath the table. And Tammy went, oh, yeah, I guess. I just, because she doesn't draw a lot of people. This is also something she's working with and learning. I think also at one point she's like done most of the. Oh no, that's coloring. Yeah, in coloring she's going to. There's a little thing that she did which is just amusing in my opinion. But yeah, so because she's like, oh yeah, I guess I haven't actually put their arms on the table. She's like, what am I going to do? I'm like, well, you can have them doing this and this doing this. She's like, okay, so she started putting some people's hands on the table. Not everyone's. I think she leaves herself and her character's mother. But from where she's drawing, where she starts to where she ends, That is her character's father, her character's mother, her character's grandmother, her character's sister, and her character's brother-in-law. And then the two down below are her niece and nephew. Her character's niece and nephew. There was something else I was going to... Oh, glasses. So Tammy has glasses on two of them. But because they're bears and they have their ears up high, Tammy has indicated that how the glasses work in her world is that they are the ones that where you pinch them and you put them on and you let go, and they then lightly pinch your nose to stay on. Correct?
It was either that or it was similar to how I want to say medieval Asian cultures had theirs, where it was like a string or like a wire that just kind of crossed over itself and kind of hooked on behind the ears as like a full thing. But I thought against it. It just would look a little too weird and hard to deal with. So
Tammapanda, the character, used to actually have glasses in the canon story. But when she started to find that monkey was not aging and started taking medication to prevent herself from aging, she started healing. And part of her healing actually renewed her eyesight.
So she didn't have to wear glasses anymore.
She claims to most people, because she's trying not to let them know that she's not aging, she claims to most people that she has contacts now. Part of the canon is the fact that she starts distancing herself from people because she's not wanting the government and people like that to realize that not only is she found the way to stop people from aging, but that monkey is that the reasoning behind it. Because she's afraid that they may take him and start doing research on him. And the reason she does not share it with people is because she thinks that having a society that never, quote unquote, dies from old age would be bad.
Yeah, because then that just creates a really possibly corrupt government and
then
as a whole,
overpopulation.
Overpopulation.
And how many children you are and are not supposed to have and stuff like that.
So there is a weird moral ground in there for her and her reasonings.
Yeah. And the reason she's actually stopped herself from aging was because she didn't want Monkey to be by himself. And she wanted him to keep having a friend. This is all information that we're going to release more if you actually are watching the Tammapanda quick draws. But I just thought we'd explain that here while we're, drawing them. Seeing how this is actually that. But going with her society, it is a very unique society. I think there's... can you remember how many there were? Capital cities?
I want to say there was like 12 or 13 capital cities.
Yeah, there was not a lot of capital cities throughout their planet. It was a fairly large number, but it wasn't like very large. I think Tammy may be correct about the 12 or 13 to, I think it was 25. Somewhere around that number. When we actually go into it, we'll go into it more. But nonetheless, with the capital cities, they are huge. Like, massive.
Yeah, like...
They're not like, small cities. They are like, the smallest capital city is bigger than New York. Or Tokyo.
Yeah.
It is, and it's also the fact that the high-rise buildings, some of the, like, apartment buildings are like a city block or two. I think it's actually what it was. It's like 2 city blocks. Um, is an apartment building, and it was like 10 stories tall or more. I think it was 10 stories.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
And they were like their own little places. Like they would have its own shopping mall and grocery store inside it, and they would also have like entire um, building would be. When I say it's like city block, it's like squared. Sorry, so I think it was 2 city blocks squared. So I think it's that theoretically it would be like 4 buildings shoved together.
Yeah, it was pretty massive for one complex.
And it would like I said, it would have like a grocery store. It would have a doctor's office. It would have like a school inside, and all this.
Yeah, it was like a self-sustaining small town.
And it would like have like hundreds of people, or like I think it was like thousands of people living in this little area, and they were like all over town. And the government, a lot of the stuff in the like, because of that, like you, anything there, like there was a gym there, you were allowed to go to your gym whenever you wanted. You paid rent, you got access to the gym. Stuff like that. So the idea was the fact that you were never having any issue where you couldn't get to a gym. It was right there. And cars were not uncommon, but weren't overly used either. Because there was also public transit everywhere. Mostly there was like trains, some buses, sky trains. That's what I meant by trains, but there's also like actual trains. I know Tammapanda actually had or has a electrical car.
Yeah. I think she had a truck at one point, but
It was still electrical, I'm pretty sure too.
yeah, because majority of the uh, society had electrical vehicles because it was more sustainable.
Yeah. Because the idea behind this society is the fact that it is a mixture of science and old magic. We said this in one of the previous videos, but the idea is that Tammapanda's people, when they were making their old society and had magic everywhere, it was they were using it, like actually creating like things with the magic, like. And over the years, they can't use any magic anymore, but those things that had magic still have it. And their lifespans are 250 years. And when they lost their magic, it was supposed to be set for 75 years old. So they were not allowed to access magic until about 75 years old. Somewhere between that 25 and 75. But anyway, now they cannot access magic until they're 750 years old. Which none of them have ever lived to, because they only lived to 250 years. Now keep in mind that one of them, not mentioning any Tammapandas, is immortal. Dun dun dun! Yes, that's a spoiler for later, to inform you guys that she is, magic using. And which, if you haven't seen some of the quick draws where she's using magic, come on. Actually, I think some of the Sunday ones she's using magic now. So come on. So yeah, these are old pictures because theoretically at the early parts of her life, this would be. But at the later parts of her life, she's not on her planet anymore. Because in some of the drawings we're doing of her, she would be 2,000 or 3,000 years old. So, I know we're just, throwing in timelines everywhere, but,
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Maybe one day we'll do a like separate video where we actually just do Tammapanda in order of all the drawings you've ever done of her, in order of when it's actually supposed to be in every single picture you've ever done of her.
Oh, that's gonna be intense.
So yes, at one point, pretty sure Tammy's like coloring like everybody else, and then I'm like, you didn't finish the one child's color at all, and she's like, oh yeah, maybe I should finish that.
Oops.
But anyway, we are coming to the end. We have like 30 seconds left. Oh no, not 30 seconds. Oh, the bowl on the with her father is M&Ms, and the one with her brother-in-law is chips, just in case. And her sister's looking at a phone. And yeah, I think that's everything.
Yep. So, it's been a long time, but we will have to see you in the next one, Subscribblers.